Please.
Hello, thanks very much for the local people coming out here today. I just seen people that I met throughout the country during the last few years on a protest. And I want you to think about one thing the government are trying to sell you at the moment. They're telling us all that we're doing better. I seen a guy from Waterford that I met many years ago outside the Dáil protesting. It's called Keith Nolan. And I'll tell you what our government did in Keith's County. The government did what they did in the country that's doing better. They closed down a women's refuge in Keith's County. And you look at the lads here, they travelled from Dublin. And the lads in Dublin, we seen in Dublin a man die outside the Dáil. A homeless man died outside the Dáil. The street that has more CCTV cameras than any other street in the country. There was people watching that man, walking by that man. There was guards watching that man, and nobody thought to go over and see is he all right. But the lads that spoke before you here, they're facing court now in a few weeks, right? And them lads were trying to prevent water meters going in their area, and they're facing court in a matter of months. People of Tipperary don't need any reminding. You have a politician down here called Michael Lowry, and Michael Lowry paid a corrupt payment to Dennis O'Brien many years ago, and he's still not facing jail. Why is Michael Lowry and Dennis O'Brien not facing jail? And these lads are facing jail in a matter of months. So that's that. But on the water charges, you've seen what happened during the week. You've seen the EU coming out and saying they're afraid that they won't have enough money to fund Irish Water. And they're making that calculation on everybody paying. That's why it's most important that none of us pay. Not one single person should pay. The way we're going to meet, and just in case any of our political friends are listening from any party or from every party, do you all agree with me? Are we in Cashel sending all the politicians a message? Do you all agree with me? We are not paying. Do you all agree? So any political party, I don't want to hear individuals saying they're not paying. I want to see their party leaders and their party saying they're not paying. But moving on, you talk about the Galway tent. We thought we got rid of the Galway tent when we got rid of Fianna Fáil. Now we have Davos. Davos is the Galway tent on steroids. That's what Davos is. And it cost you 150,000 to get a seat over there, and Dennis is over there with Enda at the moment. We had 150,000 people on the streets or more last year protesting against we don't want any water charges, and Enda Kenny ignored it. He's not going to ignore us anymore. We have to keep on going. And it's like the lad said earlier, your man who stood up here starting at the start of that. We're doing it for our children. We're doing it for our grandchildren. Every single one of us know if we pay this charge and if we let them beat us on this one, our kids are going to be paying for many years to come. Getting back to Irish Water and the National Citizens Movement, what we've tried to do, we've tried to fight them in every way. And what Derek is doing is blocking them going in, and if they get them in, Derek and the likes of myself are taking the water meets back out. That's what we've been doing. And we take them out down here. Ask any of the lads there, we give the information how to take them out. They're telling us that's criminal damage. You see they're on RTE telling us that's criminal damage. I'd excuse you. It's criminal damage for Irish Water coming onto your premises, your property, without your permission and putting the water meter there. We don't want them. We'll be taking them out if they do get by us. But back to us again in National Citizens Movement. You have Dermot Murphy, a lot of you would know him from Facebook. Dermot has a court case against Irish Water coming up in early February, and Elizabeth Hurden has 2 court cases. Do you want to just come in there for a second?
Can you mention the guy's name that died? So he's not a number, that his name? John Corry.
Just as Siobhan rightly said, so we don't forget the chap who died outside the Dáil. We don't want to look at a number as a statistic. His name was Jonathan Corry, and he was a human being. And lots of people, like I say to you, official Ireland walked by him. Because what is happening now, they're getting so used. If you walk down Temple Bar, and another man actually died down in Temple Bar a week after, If you walk down Temple Bar any time in the morning, everybody's getting so used to looking at the people on the streets because there's so many of them. And that's the trouble is, Jonathan Corry is not a statistic. Jonathan Corry is a human being and he should be remembered. Thank you, Siobhan. Just to get back to the court cases, Dermot has sent a video to the Garda Commissioner, to every TD in the Dáil, to the judges in the court, showing them how vulnerable, because Dennis O'Brien is using cheap materials when he's putting in his water meters. You're only seeing it there on the news during the week. They're only going to last 15 years. Why is that? Because Dennis wants a further stream of money, so he has to replace them every now and again. But not only that, they're a plastic screw cap bottle, and now anybody can interfere with your water. That's what Dermot is taking the court case for, is to show us that they're making us all vulnerable by going from a sealed system which was safe to an open system where anybody can interfere with your water. There's a cap you can get. You can look online and you follow my name, you can see how you can take them out and put these caps in their place. Elizabeth tried to take a case about a few weeks ago. Do you remember Alan Kelly with the exemption? Elizabeth went into court to take a case, and the judge said he hadn't got the jurisdiction, because what we wanted to do, we wanted to take a case preventing Alan Kelly from giving away the exemption that we already had against Irish Water, and the judge wouldn't rule on it. He said he hadn't got the jurisdiction. We're still waiting on a written judgment on that. We're also, the other court case is trying to get Enda Kenny, trying to get Mr. Hogan, Phil Hogan, into court, because we think it was unconstitutional. They say that people signed up for water, but remember what the government did. We have a government minister that went on television and threatened poor people. He threatened poor people, if you don't pay, I'll turn down your water to a trickle. This is the cruelest government that I've ever seen. The Labour Party said nothing. Fine Gael people said nothing. They said nothing for months. They think that's all right to threaten poor people. To threaten poor people to turn their water off if you can't afford to pay. I think that was the stimulus that got people up off their backsides, that brought them out in the streets. And I'll finish off now, but I'll say to you, we have to keep this fight going. We have to tell your Tom Hayes here in town where to go with his water meters and where to go with Irish Water. We're going to bring them down. Thank you.